Yeah, they really did look a shadow of their former selves. And, you know, coming into this, I think a lot of people had high expectations off the back of yesterday, unless it was a wake-up call and really kicks them into gear. I honestly can see it being more of the same because ESPADA, they're no one to mess with. Like, these guys will punish you, as we've just seen there, as Quizen gets destroyed on long, and they're going to be looking to push behind that now on the T side of the pistol. There are 3 players already making moves up. There is a gap in that smoke as well, and a flash that's designated to push through there. It will be Lackey going through with his USP. Second flash forthcoming. But he's being completely destroyed by Dexter, and in doing so, now another flank comes in. Dima deals with Lilian, and that looks like it could be the round just done, unless Bondic and Hobbit muster up a hell of a last stand, which, to be fair, Hobbit is doing, and his teammate of Bondic has just been finished off. He'd been pushed down to 1 HP, so all on Hobbit, surrounded, isolated from the rest of his teammates, has to come out with some headshots with that USP. Now there's another one. He's keeping the dream alive, but Dima's going to close it out. ESPADA with the first round of the best of 3.
Yeah, nice try from Hobbit, man. It feels like he's been, you know, the knight in shining armor here for this team. Him and Bondic, of course, are 2 more experienced players inside of this roster, and some young guns as well. We've seen, you know, games where, like, Quizen yesterday had like 4 kills after a map, and you know that's not normal to see from a player like that. Either way, it's ESPADA taking the first round of this game and already setting up towards B. Whether they'll commit remains to be seen, but at least 4 in the tunnels with the bomb early on. Elian's going to rotate out of mid and go back. And ESPADA still holding on to somewhat of a default. Dexter watching that long position. We got Patsy coming in late through T-spawn, and ESPADA just waiting for Winstrike. With this force up in the second round, it's very winnable for Winstrike. So ESPADA don't want to jump the gun. They will be ending in B, though, by the looks of things. And we know those new doors are down, so we can see maybe a little more retake potential.
Oh, definitely gives the CTs that feeling that maybe the retakes are much more likely to come into fruition. 2 of them stuck in middle at the time being. There is a smoke being put down, allows Finnegan safe passage to just flash up on short. Lackey is watching with the scout at range. Flashbang comes out, doesn't connect onto him, but he misses a shot. Does land on the second time of asking the Nest the second one as well. If they just stay in this bottleneck, it's going to be a massacre. Everybody swarming in from the CTs, and it's a complete disaster. Only Slotpick really mustering up any kind of engage whatsoever, any kind of retaliation, and honestly his days are numbered. Hugo, he's on 11 HP and he's being chased down.
He's out of there. Whether it's saving or long, I mean, he wants nothing to do with that B bomb site, but what he's left, Bint, is a treasure trove of weaponry. Winstrike can go and clear the tunnels and grab pretty much everything they want. It's a bargain sale. Ooh, okay, Sophic, he's trying to play with his food. Now, he's faked out his position, but I don't know if he'll commit B here. Even though Winstrike have left the site, the time is pretty tenuous at best, 10 seconds, and no one's even scavenging these guns. So Sophic, the defender of the weapons, and he will save living to fight another day. Winstrike finding a force by Lackey, man. Brilliant shot of the scout. Like, that is a... Yeah, you put it as a massacre, Vince. I think I have to agree with you. And, well, he's not going to live to tell the tale. Sophic does rid him in the tunnels. Winstrike still pretty rich as a result, and ESPADA, we already know it, we already hate it. Losing the pistol round is fine if you win the force, because boy, are these T's broken.
Yeah, they're completely skint money. They've got nothing. They have to go all in on deagles and armor. And that just felt very indecisive to me, Hugo, watching that. It's like they threw the flashes out, they had the idea, and then they just kind of got stuck and bogged down in the tunnels, which when you're up against pistols and, you know, a scout that can soften you up is basically a death sentence. Like, they could never really get anything done.
Yeah, every single player there is thinking, oh, I'll kill him. No, I'll kill him. And then they stand still, right? You don't want to be running if you know you're going to get repeaked. And they know they're going to get repeaked, but there's only a head angle and a hard shot to hit with no one to hit it. I guess that makes all the difference, right? Sometimes you believe in yourself, but, well, it's not always under your control. Right now, Short's under the control of ESPADA. They're going to probably just execute into this A site. Very common in these low economy rounds of pistols. Not so much to go B, but rather just to try and force a plant on the cat side of things. We see these rounds get swept up in the post plant pretty quickly, but this 1 AK can make all the difference.
Most certainly can. It's going to be in the hands of the aforementioned Sotvic, saving it in the previous, and Patsy ripping off the head of Quizen. There's another one. Elian comes up, slowly peeks, does get 1 kill for his troubles, but now that he's been put down, it's putting that little bit more pressure on the CTs. They've also lost Lackey, so only Bondic and Hobbit remain. They only have a HE, and they don't have a kit between the 2 of them. They're upgrading one of the MP9s up to an M4A4, but the positions from the T's are so tenuous. It's going to be so difficult to get back onto this, and they've lost. It's a game of 4 spies, seemingly, that are being successful, and now it's Winstrike's turn to feel the burn of the economy.
Oh, this is what I like to see. This is already a competitive series, Vince. Both these teams may have got blown out of the water yesterday, but someone has got to cause the explosion today. Someone's got to get knocked down and out because ESPADA are bringing the heat right back. So will Winstrike. Double scouts. Well, this is what got them here in the first place. So let's have some faith. Lackey, though, tagged through the doors. Dexter, he's going to go late to long with the rest of his team. I like how ESPADA have had a lot of different early round setups. They've not done anything twice, or not in a row at least. They've just, tried every single side of the map, trying to get a feel for how Winstrike are playing or where Winstrike are playing. It's going to be an A-site take with the flashes through the smoke, but oh dear, it's messy, and a quick trade, one more on the site. He's down to 20, should be a quick kill here for ESPADA, and there it is. At this point, very difficult for Winstrike to get anything done. Hobbit does land a dig, but he is the only man technically inside of this site.
That is true, yeah. Post on the back boxes. Bondic can flash up for his teammate, and they're going to push behind that. Does try a speculative deagle shot. Doesn't connect, though. And so ESPADA are closing the gap, tightening the noose. Dexter, beautiful tap with the scout, and Dean does handle Hobbit, who, to be fair to him, did white swing with the deagle and gets a kill, but Alien now is all alone, and he's been spotted. CZ and scout in hand. Dima needs to be careful he doesn't overpeak this. They're keeping Alien down and stuck in the CT side. It's a costly round for ESPADA, to be fair, but they're still going to get it done. It's still going to be 3-1 scoreline.
At this point, you're just happy that you took 2 in a row, Vince. I don't think you're worrying about the money at this point. At least Winstrike have broken, is what ESPADA are probably saying. And man, I mean, we're only 5 rounds in, so I don't want to extrapolate too much. But Hobbit's looking good right now. He's hitting dig shots. He's hitting pistol kills. Yeah, nice stuff. And he was a bit quiet yesterday, so it's good to see him maybe feeling a little more confident on day 2 of WePlay. Of course, of the main event here on Clutch Island. ESPADA now, with all the money and all the chance to shut this one down, put Winstrike, well, not put Winstrike down, but rather put themselves up to 4. And it seems that Finnegan, he wants to make it pretty quick. He's going to run out of mid doors. The one flashbang in this round, the one investment on Hobbit almost dies. He's going to get it off towards long. Everyone's blind. The USPs could do some damage here. Oh, dear, there's 2. There's 3. Chrism with a double. And, forget I said anything, Vince. ESPADA getting 4. Haha, only joking.
Mate, what's going on? USPs, please.
Yo, and also, if Finnegan killed Hobbit, if he finished the job, this would never have happened. He put 70 damage the way of Hobbit, and then Hobbit throws a flashbang out of desperation. That could have just been, a lost flash, and it would have been a very different round, because without 3 players being blind on long for ESPADA, Winstrike's USPs would have got mopped up. And Hobbit, he's made a gamble, but unfortunately, sometimes with gambling, you lose.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes you go all in and you go broke as a result. Finnegan is just sat here basically trying to play the mind games, trying to wait for a potential push from Hobbit. This is a good angle, considering that Finnegan doesn't have a smoke. AK at this range should always triumph over the Mac-10, even though Hobbit is low. However, there are AKs sprinkled and littered around long, so I assume he is going to upgrade to 1, which he has now. He hasn't left himself enough time to go back to the B site, so this is it. It's going to be the long-range encounter between Hobbit. Oh, he actually flicks onto Hobbit. I was going to say, as you rightfully pointed out, Hobbit's been in fine form to start things off, so I really thought he'd win that trade.
I mean, yeah, he's got the drop on him. He hit the first bullet. He put him down to 9, but obviously it's only 1 bullet in response needed by Finnegan. Hobbit was on 27. We all know how much the AK does. So, woo, nice play from Finnegan. He had the realization. He didn't leave it too late. That's what I was scared of. Hobbit's hoping that Finnegan wastes too much time, but yeah, it moves at the right point, gets the shot off as well. And wow, I mean, Winstrike, they can't be too sad, as hard as it is to be. You just got 4 kills on a USP round, so you've softened up your opponent's economy, and this one is about breaking it. If you win it with the AWP, ESPADA are going to be back onto pistols themselves. But as we've already seen from that game, pistols don't feel like a limiting factor anymore. We'll have to see if ESPADA get broken here, or if they do the breaking. Lackey, the man of doubles, he's got another one back here in middle.
A huge couple kills as well, and because the last 2 rounds have gone down to 1 player, actually ESPADA, they've only survived with 2 players maximum in 3 rounds, they've had 1 player left. This is why their economy is not built up, even though they're 4-1. So if they do lose this, they would be into an eco more than likely. And that's Winstrike's chance to really close that gap and get up close and personal again. Great start, 50 seconds to go. But ESPADA now turning their attention towards B. Now, the 1 round that Winstrike won did come off the back of a B hit. So I wonder if it's going to be more of the same. That was where the scout at the back boxes just ripped them to pieces and the crossfire was set up perfectly. It's more of the same. Patsy with 1 in a second, at least going to keep the CTs honest. Does have a bit of time to play. We're still going to just check his back. No one's there. Bomb under his control now, but it's really about whether he can get the bomb planted. He's going to have to worry about so many angles of aggression. Tickles the bomb, draws Chrisen out into the open. Molotov has been put into place, and there is the flank from Hobbit. Well played, Winstrike.
Yeah, Hobbit just pushes the door smoke on that plant. I like that as well. With the Molotov down, he knew there was enough distraction, and that's going to be a free kill for Winstrike. Another round locked in on B, and not even necessarily a retake, but we can already see how those door changes are coming to assist CTs in making plays like that, right? You know, you can cross out the doors without necessarily being exposed, you know, like you would be on the reverse doors. Very exposed to the position that he was fake planting. But yeah, another timeout here, or the first of many potentially. We saw at least teams use their timeouts yesterday, and that's a good sign. A lot of teams online forget about it, waste it. And while we have coaches that are, of course, able to communicate during rounds and have assistance, it's always nice just to have a bit of a breather and you know, hear from someone on a break. Lackey, he's back on the AWP alongside Ellie, and we have this double AWP on the CT side, but ESPADA, they forced up in the 7th round. Nice shot down middle coming through for Dexter, puts Lackey low. 1 Galil. This one pales in comparison to the Hero AK, but let's see what they can do with it.
Yeah, that was damage with the Deagle as well. He nearly actually just ripped apart Lackey, who has the AWP. So that's pretty damning. Had that kill have come down, then could have had another force by working out. Patsy needs to be careful. He is going to burn very quickly, down to 68 behind the Xbox. Flicking from Ellie, solid shot. And now he can look to try and rummage back towards the B side. With B being that little bit easier to retake, you're seeing a lot more teams now occupy 2 in middle as opposed to 2 on B, which does give you that little bit of a safety net and safety blanket when it comes to fending off the mid pushes. Lackey going to connect onto Dima, and it's looking like this round is by and large going to be fairly comfortable for the CTs. Maybe I spoke too soon though, Hugo.
Maybe you have, Vince. A bomb plant, a bare minimum here for ESPADA. No one even close enough to stop it, and no grenades either. So that's good news for Sophic, who's down to 10. Unfortunately, he can't drop here. That would be very loud. Actually, his teammate has, with the flash. Lackey, not going to fall for it. It's actually a decoy as well. So respect for holding his own there. It's Sophic alone. And now I think this one is done, right? 1 on 4, 20 health. Chrisen's up the ramp, and it's going to be Winstrike getting a defuse. Back and forth and back again. It's a 3rd round here for the CT side.
At least with the bomb plant, it does take the economy forward somewhat, but obviously it's not as if they have a vast amount of round loss to really fall back on. So you're looking at mid to high $2,000, $3,000, not really much apart from some upgraded pistols, I would imagine, coming into play for ESPADA. And Winstrike with a very good opportunity to build up their economy. You can already see a couple of players are starting to get up there towards the $5,000 mark. So a good comeback after a very rocky start.
Full PT50s and Eagles now. It's looking like a bit of a B play for ESPADA with no utility. Very much hamstrings their ability to do anything. And Hobbit, well, he'll make it a lot worse. Dropping the bomb in lower tunnel. I love that play when you get that timing out mid, when you check T-spawn, no one's watching, and you know, okay, I can get lower right now. And you don't even necessarily push to clear B. As long as your teammates have the utility, like Bondic, throwing in that molly smoke, making sure ESPADA can't rush B, Hobbit can just wait lower for them to come to him. And the longer he's there, the less they consider it, because he would have already pushed, surely. But no, he drops the bomb, gets a couple of kills before he's traded, and even though the MP9 is secured by Patsy, I mean, this round is anything but secure. 2 on 4 with 3 players floating B side. Winstrike are going to have no issue removing this round.
Absolutely. This should be a done deal. Patsy going to be peeking on towards Bondic, who, to be fair, is very low, 22 HP. We could go down to that P250 or MP9 at range, but not going to happen. Perfect timing after the flashbang detonates. And 4-4, all even. ESPADA, though, will be able to muster up a buy. Dexter, if he wants the AWP, it's going to be Glass Cannon. Most AWPers would prioritize that on Dust 2 and just take the blow. Actually, he can forward out the Kevlar as well. It's at the cost of utility, but it's a good buy from the T's at the very least.
Yeah, always worth it in my opinion. Like, it's nice to have your AWP throwing nades, but it's better to have them on the AWP, I would say. Kristen, he's going to deal with a long play. Good Molotovs from Winstrike. They don't go in the doors. That's why ESPADA think they can get out. They expect the Molotovs to go deep. Instead, they go on the exit of the doors. And so the more ESPADA leave the long position, the more they burn. And 2 players dead in there. Now it's down to Catwalk, but there's already an A stack, so ESPADA is still walking into it. Elian's yet to drop. It will come through late. Bondic trying to help out. Good headshot angle. And yeah, ESPADA, they fail on long, so they run right back Cat. But little do they know, Winstrike, they have 4 on long, and then they run right back Cat. So really no solutions here in this round for ESPADA. And this AWP is relying on a timing shot that will be a second too late. Now they're going B, and Winstrike are ready for this, right? They've heard everything. They've seen ESPADA run a train on this map, go from long to T-spawn to Cat to tunnels, and now ESPADA are trying to throw a bit of a spanner in the works, checking T-spawn for a flank. But Winstrike, I respect the ability to just hold back here and not overplay your hand. They could be flanking, but no need. 5-on-2. Wait for ESPADA to come to you.
Exactly the case. Just keep that economy brimming to the full. You have 2 AWPs. You have a hefty investment already on the battlefield with the potential of that money to trickle in nicely. Bondic going to be looking to try and push out with his teammate. Not dealing with the full angle for Finnegan. Should be getting 2, will get 2. So it's a bit of cost there. If they'd taken down Lackey, it probably would have been one of the AWPs falling, but that's not going to be the case. So Winstrike are fine with that trade.
I didn't see if it was Bondic or Hobbit. Did they know that Dexter was up at the car? Because they didn't even clear close, and the player close is supposed to be covering, but like Winstrike just hunted that kill like they knew it was there. Like they were 100% sure. Like you can trade me. I'm killing your teammate that you're supposed to be covering. So yeah, that was real sweaty. And hey, look at the score. Winstrike now in the lead. This is not how I thought this game would be going a minute ago. 4 in a row for Winstrike after some back and forth rounds. Nice AWP shots in this one, removing the pistols and double AWPing down mid. Well, this is certainly a solution for the time being. Another one with the bomb dropped. It goes tumbling forward, and it just gets worse and worse, at least for ESPADA.
Yeah, it's going to be begging for mercy soon. It's going to be 5 rounds in a row. Dima 1v5. Bomb, as he said, dropped in an awkward position, and just with a deagle, he's about to get shot in the back. Crescent puts the bullet down range. Winstrike now off to a hot streak of rounds, and considering that was a flawless clean sweep, you can see their money building so nicely. Elian up to over $10,000. Crescent's not far off that mark, and neither is Lackey. So you're looking at decent buys coming up for the next 2 or 3. ESPADA in trouble.
Yeah, but maybe the solution is Dexter. A lot of hype on the desk, but like I said, we didn't really see a lot from him yesterday. This could be his time to shine. AWP on the T side, still holding spawn, but we've got Winstrike triple long with a Cat player as well, so very much leaning towards A. Lackey, he is in a compromised position. He has to be very careful on his own not to give away a kill. Grenade into lower does a bit of damage, but ESPADA are just clearing out map control. With that long play eventually peeling back for Winstrike because no commitment from ESPADA. No reason to hold that forever. Now they can regress towards Catwalk with the AWP, or just go and help middle as well. ESPADA haven't really taken anything. They've got Cat technically, but it's not like they're pressuring any area of the map. They're waiting for Winstrike to make mistakes, but again, Winstrike have fallen back, holding passive, and don't seem to be interested in moving.
In with one and done position, takes his shot, drops down. Incendiary there, gift wrapped for ESPADA to contend with. Stops the push. They don't want to try and re-engage now. They know that he has managed to relocate into a better position. 45 seconds on the timer. ESPADA have seemingly ran very dry on ideas, and a lot of their rounds that did come were at the cost of 4 or 5 players at times, or 3 or 4, I should say. So they haven't exactly ever looked like they were completely in command of the rounds that they did end up winning. 30 seconds, ESPADA still yet to really pull the trigger on any push. Now they're going to start to come through, but perfectly placed to deal with this. 2 kills down, loads of damage through the smoke onto Dima and Patsy as well. And it's looking like it's going to be another toothless push. Elian, though, is tagged down very heavily and finalized. So with 12 seconds to go, they are going to look for that bomb plant. Shot from Lucky, misses the first, but nails the second. It's not going to be in time, though, to stop the bomb plant.
Hey, they'll take it rounds around at the end of the day. And yeah, you mentioned it actually, Vince. I guess that's a good point about ESPADA. You know, it's been a while since they won rounds. I guess you got to look at the way they won their rounds as well. It was those early force buys. It was those back and forth. We have more money, or even at times we have less money. And that's how they even got rounds on the board. So now that Winstrike have got guns, yeah, ESPADA have gone absolutely silent. And that's not a good sign. Hobbit, he's so good, man. He always knows how to get value from his position. Even if he's dying, he'll go down with 2. He'll always put up a bit of a fight before he's dropped. And even 2 kills on his own, traded. He gets all the info. He drops the bomb. He really sets his team up there. So Hobbit, once again, being the guy to look out for here for Winstrike. Bit of a B play here for ESPADA, and only 1 man in. This could get hairy.
Yeah, that second player, though, in the form of Hobbit, as you highlighted, after just a couple of rounds, he was looking like he was feeling it after being eerily quiet yesterday. Flash out from Dima. They're going to push. They're going to take the initiative and really pick up the pace, and the aggressive play is going to work out nicely. Hobbit first of all. Lucky goes down instantly afterwards. That peak from Bondic yields 1, but that probably won't be good enough for the CTs as the Ts maintain their player advantage, and it's going to be a post plant as well as Crisant and Elian try and muster together some plays. Now, this is what you're looking for, Hugo. Are we going to see more retakes now that the doors have changed? It's looking like, at least for the time being, Winstrike are interested in the idea, but with Crisant being shut down, that probably closes the door for Elian.
Yeah, Orb, solo Orb as well. And I mean, even though he has the money, better to get away with it than give it to them for free. They've already got one off the body of Lucky. So yeah, Bondic, that window peak, I like the idea. It's a coin flip, it's a gamble, it's a 50-50 for the round, right? He gets 1, he drops the bomb temporarily. If he gets away there, that's excellent, because you can set up for a retake at that point. But with him getting traded, yeah, not enough for the CTs at all. ESPADA favored, and his teammates too far away. I would have done the same thing, really, but unfortunately not to the same result. It's going to be 7 rounds for Winstrike, 5 for ESPADA, as they finally put a rifle round on the board after a lot of back and forth, and mainly back for Winstrike at least. Dexter once again AWPing, and we have the double AWP continue for Winstrike. When the money is there, they have no reason to care.
To prioritize that weaponry as soon as possible. The aggression out of long, not for the first time, as one player from ESPADA run out into the open, flashed out, just gets killed for free. I'm not sure if that's the player, ESPADA.
Yeah, I think he looked pretty flashed as well, just running to the smoke, like almost looking for a escape, somewhere to hide. But no, not allowed. And ESPADA don't know because they haven't been taking long in the rifle rounds, but we can see that Winstrike have been putting 3 or 4 players there almost every round as a default at the start of the round. They've not been down a B rush. They have no reason to believe it's going to be an early B, and so they just early players long, and they still have a double setup there. Like, to hold this a minute into the round after you've taken the only contact in your favor is rare. But of course, this AWP is just so mobile and able to assist Cat, able to watch middle, assuming CT doesn't get smoked off. And so, lots of options here for Winstrike. I'm actually liking the CT setups. Like, Hobbit has been the only player to push, and he's always pushed at the right time, mainly just mid to lower and getting information, crunching up and dark with Bondic. But other than that, Winstrike have been very good at just holding their own, holding their position. Bit of a fake in this round there, throwing util up Cat. The bomb is going B, and you'll notice on the minimap, Winstrike is somewhat falling for it, but with no players committing, Bondic has no reason to rotate.
Rotation 20 seconds, and Lucky is still in position to hold this off. And are they going to go save?
Yeah, they don't believe in it. They have no util. Man. Oof.
It's not often, Hugo, you see a 4-player save on the T side with full weapons.
I guess they're scared they're walking into a stack, and they are somewhat with 2 players there, plus Hobbit playing mid, as he often does. But, I guess it's the one flash for a Winstrike. They throw it into the tunnels, and that's like yeah, we know you're coming, by the way. Like, this flash isn't going to do anything. It did blind players. It's not going to do anything, but we know you're coming because you've thrown a bunch of grenades up Catwalk, and then you've gone silent on Catwalk at 20 seconds. Like, come on, guys, come on. That was very one-dimensional. Winstrike knew it was happening, and maybe it's easy to laugh at that save, but I think if ESPADA push B, they still lose the round. So you know, worth giving it a go, perhaps. But what do I know?
I suppose it does allow them to get a decent buy because of, obviously they only lost one player, so they could drop for Sotfik.
Yeah.
Downside is he's died instantly, so right off the bat. But here's the question: Demon gets 2 entries, pure timing. You could see that Lackey had just moved away from B, and now Patsy going to capitalize on Chrisen, who quickly tries to flank round the back of the T's. That's more like it from ESPADA. They've really been up against it these last 7 or 8 rounds, but it seems like they're finally going to get another win on the board.
Yeah, it's competitive. It's so close. And Winstrike, will they be even considering this one with Hobbit so far away? Elian's got the money. Like, at the end of the day, he's got cash to burn, and ESPADA have an AWP anyway. So, like, you know, there's an argument to be made that he just jumps through the doors and goes for a kill because, firstly, stats. Secondly, take away a bit of money from ESPADA. We'll see if he's able to. Likely holding for exits by the looks of things, and that's probably the right call here to make anyway, but he's going to get caught by Patsy, who's coming in from the middle. Ooh, he checks it. Yeah, good spot for Patsy. Doesn't let that corner go unsearched, and, well, while Hobbit will get away... Actually, I say that. Maybe I was speaking too soon. He's in spawn. He's fighting, and he's dead. But, yeah, it doesn't matter. Last round of the half coming up, and everyone has money, so all good in the hood.
Easy read by terrorists. The ESPADA team know this is a very important round. It is Winstrike's choice of map, of course, and I'd say it's a fairly even map. Obviously, we don't know how the doors are going to skew the percentages in terms of T or CT sided. Well, that's yet to be seen, I suppose, as more competitive play gets underway. What would your initial reaction be to that, Hugo? Do you think this does make it a little bit more favorable towards the CTs?
Yeah, surely, right? Like, I think we've already... I haven't seen a lot of games on it because, like, the tournaments I've been doing have not had this change. It's the first time I've seen it in pro play. But from how I've played it, like, yeah, for sure, retake's way more viable. You can even run, if you want to go early long setups, you can even run a solo B that essentially just watches mid and watches through the doors towards the tunnel. As long as you have utility to cycle, you don't even necessarily need to play inside of the B site by default. So I think it makes it a lot easier for solo Bs. Obviously, retaking goes without saying. Yeah, I'd like to think it's positive for the CT side. And at this point in CS, even though the Krieg is no longer meta, praise everything for that. You know, this game is still T-sided, and that seems to be the way that 2020 is going for it. Which, you know, nothing wrong with that. But I feel like there are definitely some maps where, you know, you could argue that it's time to make it a little more CT-sided, and Dust 2 could be one of them. But the B pick right now is ESPADA. They might have to show Winstrike how to retake because this B site is under lock and key right now. The re-smoke down for Bondic and a teammate rotating in the form of Elian. So a defense here. If ESPADA go elsewhere, it's going to be a weakened A site. But once they figured out B Vince, I feel like they've just been, you know, hounding it round after round. Once they figured out this site was there, as A has been pretty cruel to them in the past.
They'll definitely turn their attention towards this B site. Elian, again, this is deja vu. Last time it was the scout, this time it's the AWP. You need to push behind this. You need to get up close. Elian nearly burning alive. Molly's a little bit too shallow, so there's going to be another one tossed in. Elian on fire. Somehow survives 2 HP, and now his teammate Bondic can step up instead. 25 seconds to go. If Elian can get any more from this, but actually he's gone down. I thought he'd managed to survive. Wasn't the case. So Chrisen and Hobbit coming in, as you said, going to try and show them how to retake. Maybe that's not going to be required. Hobbit's just going to stop them dead in their tracks. Going to drop the bomb down. Dexter now 1v2. 10 seconds to spare, smoking off the door. He must know there's a likelihood they're going to push through this door right now. Hobbit taking punishment through the double doors. He doesn't have time for the plant. There's no need to peek for Chrisen, and it's going to go the way of Winstrike. 9-6 half.
Wow, that was so back and forth. That was exciting. I mean, Elian, how the hell is he alive forever? I don't understand. That the Molotovs are landing, and I've got to wonder if Bondic doesn't swing there. Him swinging is like the right call because he's trying to help his teammate out. Who, like you said, Elian, he almost got away. It looked like he was going to survive, but yeah, Bondic, if he didn't swing there, I don't think ESPADA even realized that he's in the corner, and they probably don't check it. But regardless, not an issue. Round win for Winstrike. Hobbit again pushing the doors, man. He loves it, and I am all for it. So Winstrike up by 3, and they're going to get met with a fast mid push. It's going to be ESPADA trying to bring the fight to the T's, and maybe they'll regret that pretty quickly.
Yeah, the instant regrets as you walk around the corner and see a firing squad already established, welcoming you, put the mat out and everything. Alien looking down middle. Hasn't been the greatest game for him. He's currently 7-7. He's a player that we often sort of tout as being one of the heavy hitters and certainly one that has a lot of potential within the CIS region. And so Winstrike, hot off the back of a decent half. It could have been a bit of a nightmare considering they started off 1-4 behind and their economy was in very rough shape. Now looking to try and take the second pistol, all on long with Hobbit watching the back. There aren't going to be any flanks for the time being. ESPADA playing this one a little bit more default. Flashbang on long, not really going to afford them anything, but Dexter spotting a player at long, needs to be careful he doesn't die. If he drops, that could be the floodgates opening.
The snowball effect potentially, but a quick kill. And Winstrike won't commit now, and they're going to go in later, hoping that ESPADA think that they've rotated back, but Dima's got tunnels. He's got at least some forward information from this one, and that's going to be confirmed. Dexter repositioning on the car. Oh, he's ducking down. They don't know. Are they going to check it? He's going to let them all pass. This could be a nightmare scenario, and Dexter only won, but he does his best. He does what he can with the USP. Plant allowed by Winstrike, and for long as well, somewhat lackey, quick shot. Sophic is close to the kit flash, but there's so many players here, and he's already been spotted, put down low, and cleaned up by Hobbit. It's Winstrike. With Lackey finding 3, they'll find 10. And look at that lopsided scoreboard. It's just Lackey and Hobbit doing the heavy lifting. Lackey with a lot of AWPing in the first half. Alien, the same when required, not often needed. And yeah, Hobbit just really everywhere and anywhere he could be. 10-6, a force for ESPADA. We had this exact same situation in the first half. Winstrike won this second round force on the CT side. Can ESPADA do the same?
Aggression out long, already reaping 2 kills. Patsy and Dexter never really stood a chance. Flashes came out on top of them. And now Sotfig, Finnegan, and Dima with a pretty rough task ahead of them. Going to be just looking to maybe save on B. They did go in for pistols. They went in for some armor as well with a smoke and a decoy. So they're going to be sitting on the B site and maybe looking for some exits. But by and large, this round is over. Winstrike going to be taking the bomb over, especially now that Hobbit's going to spot them pushing out. The call should come through. Can he actually just clean it up? It's going to be more money in the bank, more kills on the board. 21 and 6 assists, by the way. He's got 138 ADR, Hugo. The man is just on fire.
Yeah, I mean, this is the Hobbit we wanted to see yesterday. It's the Hobbit we saw all first RMR long, or, so it's about time, really. It seems like Winstrike have warmed up. It's not the the first official Blues anymore that they had yesterday. They know what they're doing, and they came here to do it. 11-6. It's a USP round for ESPADA. Hopefully, no more shenanigans here. It's only a grenade on Dima, and actually, oh no, they're going to meet. They're going to clash, and it's going to explode, but very little damage. Popping the corner with the USPs, but yeah, no flash. Dry fights. It's going to favor the T's. Lackey with 3, and what a mowdown! What a mop up. Assist from Bondic. But here's the nitty-gritty. Here's the real meat and potatoes. The first buy round of the half for ESPADA, and what could be one of the last if they don't start to get on this board.
Well, absolutely. I mean, you mentioned Snowball earlier. It's definitely gathering momentum going down the hill at this point, and ESPADA have got to try and put up a blockade. They cannot afford to lose this round. Going to be going in for a boost over the smoke. They need to be careful here. Alien's watching it. Alien's watching it, and he's put Dexter down. A horrible start in the round. At least Finnegan, though, is going to even the odds with his AWP onto Lackey. 4-play-4. Plenty of time left, of course. And so chaotic at the start of the round.
Yeah, we've seen heavy CT setups on long for Winstrike. Ooh, CT side, but that's not the case for ESPADA. It's a one-man army. He's got to do it all. Patsy finding Chris in the late trade for Hobbit. It's going to come through, but flash up for ESPADA. They're trying to assist. It's all too late. The AWP can post. Sophic gets spotted, and if he peeks, he is dead. There it is. Alien finding that kill and flashing his teammate around the corner. Winstrike taking names here on the long position. Both CTs in the spawn, trying to rotate back up through mid side. There's going to be smokes for the cross. Hobbit is the first man there, but the bomb isn't crossing. Doesn't matter. Bondic's just going to execute them from behind. He's got the info. He's got the shot. It may be laboured, but it is a round. Winstrike to get it done. 13 rounds to this T side, and more economical problems for ESPADA.
Definitely wasn't pretty, was it? But 13-6, and yeah, the economic downturn is going to be felt by ESPADA. It's going to sting. It looks like they are just slowly ebbing out of this map. It was a choice of Winstrike. Mirage, of course, is up next, and so ESPADA have every chance to still battle in this elimination matchup. One of these two teams is going to be waved a farewell come the end of this BO3, and it looks like ESPADA may be waving a farewell to Dust 2. It's about to become 14-6, unless ESPADA go for this retake with, by and large, just pistols. A smoke going to bounce off a teammate. It goes into the door, so no problems.
Ooh. Careful, Alien. Doesn't want to give away an AWP here. He needs a teammate to come help him out. Hobbit's on the way. And there is a wrap from Patsy and another man on long, so could get a bit scary here. Oh, the flash. Oh, it's so good. Alien would have hit that without it, but Hobbit will save the day, and there's no one here to trade, so that AWP is fine, at least in the hands of Winstrike for now. Oh, dear. A little scary. Yeah, I'm... You know, this is a must-win for Winstrike. They have to win their map pick in this series because Overpass, remember, Mirage is up next. That's a good map for ESPADA. Overpass is the third. That's a map that Winstrike have no maps won on it. They've played it 3 times. They don't even get double digits on any of those games. So, you know, I'm firstly confused at the veto whenever I watch this team because they're so good at Nuke. They're usually good at Vertigo, even though that's not what we saw yesterday. But they didn't get either of those 2 maps in this series. Obviously, ESPADA's insta-veto was Vertigo for this one, which makes sense. But Nuke was an option. And so in my head, I'm wondering if Winstrike are like saving Nuke for later in the tournament, if they've done a lot more work on it. They actually have a lot of really, really nice T-side ideas on that map. And so maybe they want to save strats somewhat for later on. Always a gamble, as you know, you can just get eliminated in a couple of VO3s, but Winstrike, I like the confidence. We'll see if it pays off.
Pick from Dexter as well, just close angle, using that smoke as a bit of cover. Molotov bouncing off the window pane, but not really going to be extending far enough. ESPADA already out there. They've got their man. They've got their pick. They don't need to stick around and wait to see what happens. And yeah, it is a bit of a head scratcher about Overpass. I remember us having this conversation yesterday as well. It was in their best of 3 as their third map. It obviously never got that far because they just got wrecked in their best of 3. It was a pretty woeful performance, to be honest. And it's good to see, at least from a neutral's perspective, that they have really stepped things up here on Dust 2.
Absolutely. And you know, for sure, arguments that they have been playing Overpass 24/7 for the past month, every day, in and out, practicing no other maps, and they have every possible smoking setup available, for sure. But I want to see it before I believe it. And maybe we won't see it. If Winstrike keep this up, hey, they could 2-0 this series, but Mirage is definitely going to be a dangerous one. We're not there yet, though. Winstrike's still a man down in this round. Dexter flashing forward. He's going to have to go back with the AWP. And as they cross towards the site, he is in a compromised position. Oh, nice angle, nice shot. But Lucky's going to get the kill as he's put down to 9. Patsy backing up. Oh, he won't see Bondic. He thinks it's clear. What an expert play from Bondic, tucking in the cubby, and he gets away with a frag. That is so nice, and it may have just saved this round.
It opens up catwalk control, but he has been put down with authority. Alien going for the plant. Both remaining Winstrike players very low. Oh my goodness, what a shot onto Sophic that is. And now Finnegan and Dima have that little bit harder task to get back on the site. Grenade goes up and over. Not going to affect either of the low and weakened players. Smoke out. Dima going to wide swing behind it with the AWP. Goes in for the first one. This is almost impossible for Alien to put off. He's back against the wall, and he can't rinse and repeat from that brisk shot that we saw just beforehand on the elevator area. So ESPADA will pick up a 7th round at the very least, but you can see Winstrike's money is so damn good. They're good to buy for a while.
Yeah, and I mean, not just the buys, but the round lead as well. This is just, it's not up against 15. You've always got that in the back pocket for ESPADA, but this is just going to be such a long climb back to this map. Winstrike back on the AWP, hit some bangers last round, but not going to be taking the long control. It's Hobbit instead leading the charge very fast indeed. Flashes are good, and Pat's gone through with one. He takes down Hobbit, traded by Sophic after Lackey gets 1, and it's a mess. It's back and forth, and it's going to favor ESPADA again. 5-on-4 last round, 4-on-3 this round. It just gets worse.
ESPADA showing some tenacity, showing some backbone. That they're not going to go down with a whimper. They're going to go down with a fight. Even if they go down at all, the comeback is still very much on the table. We've seen crazier things in Counter-Strike. Double AWPs in play. Sophic is tagged up, but there's plenty of time left. They don't have to overextend and look for any information. Meanwhile, Winstrike toying with the idea of trying to get through middle, but Elian wide swinging with the AWP, misses his shot and is punished and put down, and there's the grenade banking off the wall. Bondik left alive, bombed down in an awkward position, and he has been sprayed. So ESPADA mustering up a couple rounds back to back.
Definitely good signs. Winstrike's starting to get a feel of this T side somewhat more now that the money has come through and the AWPs are available. And now there's 2 of them for ESPADA. So, yeah, that's good news. Winstrike, what are the answers that they want to give us? No more long control. They've had enough of that one. They've been countered both times they've gone there by ESPADA and lost that fight pretty unfavorably. Going back towards middle, potentially taking the catwalk later on. The AWP looking for kills. That should have been a kill. Absolutely. Finnegan, he is very lucky right now. 18 health, will be able to back up towards B. That flash really bounces back in the face of Winstrike, but they will get up at the catwalk for free. No one here to stop them. ESPADA have put one AWP, at least on the A site, alongside Sopvic, who will be aggressing down into CT. So this AWP really needs to do it all. Winstrike are committing. They're not waiting around. I love the pace that they've set. Fast play, up cat. Dexter with the shots. He's got 2. If he goes wide, which he needs to because of the Molotov, the AWP should drop him, but he gets the kill instead. Kristen finally trades, but at what cost?
Oh, it's at the cost of potentially the rounds. And the money now is in awkward position. They're going to try and put a couple of plugs in the holes that are making this ship begin to capsize. And Bondik trying to become that craftsman. Craft a potential clutch. 1v2. Finnegan down to 18. Patsy has been just winged down to 74. There's still time. There's still 35 plus seconds to go. And Bondik's not going to fully bite down on this A play. Instead, he's just checking all of his angles, making sure these CTs isn't still pushed up on long. But by doing this, he's allowing the CT safe passage to catwalk, and they're now in really good positions.
The only benefit of this is information, but they're going to beat him to the punch. They're going to try and push ahead of the site, and a quick fake. They won't fall for it. Nade is good. They're going to go through together. Bondik sticking it. Oh, no, he's going to realize too late. They're so close. Bondik trying to avoid bullets. How is he still alive? They could line up for him, and oh, he's got the first. Oh, not the second. What a nice try. Ooh, everything about that round was terrifying, Vince. Everything about it. ESPADA, from the realization that, Bondik was on the site to the double push, the Bondik sticking the bomb when they could have swung him. That was just scary. And yeah, I like the idea by Bondik. For a second, it looked like he wanted to go B, but once he realized long was clear and the time was low anyway, his best bet was just to go back. But the only thing he had in his pocket was the info that, yeah, okay, long was clear. But if he planted instantly after getting the site, he would have had like another 15 seconds ticked off that bomb while ESPADA wrapped long and set up for that retake. He probably would have won the round, all things considered. So, yeah, very different situation instead. Tactical pause from Winstrike, as clearly answers need to be had. That's 3 in a row on the rifle rounds for ESPADA. All rounds that Winstrike have had money, and so though this will be their last, if they lose this, not only double digits approaching, but an eco as well. And this game could very much flip on its head.
Absolutely, absolutely. And they're even calling the timeout just to make sure they're all on the same page as to what's going to come up next. I'll be curious to see if they do try and go for maybe some aggression up on long, or maybe try and take the fight into middle. I mean, it's been working out for them these last few rounds, so no need necessarily to reinvent the wheel, as it were. Winstrike, though, off the back of that bomb plant, able to get another buy together, but you can see the impact it has in terms of their purchase. They have no grenades on 2 players, only 2 smokes, 3 flashes, and 1 Molotov. Far from ideal across the board. So that's enough smokes to get you safe passage across long towards A site, enough smokes to execute and wrap around onto B, but it doesn't allow you to fake that much, Hugo. Like, once you've pulled the trigger, you kind of have to push behind it.
Well, this is it, the moment of truth. I guess as this game goes on, every round becomes the most important round of this game, or at least somewhat more so. Long denied again by the triple setup of ESPADA. Flash into B. Finnegan gonna fight. There's 3 on the other side. Does he know? Yes, now he will, for sure. And he'll find out the hard way. Dima sends back a package, though. And boy, does it reach its destination. 2 kills off of the M4. And I don't know if that was by design by Winstrike or more of a reaction. against the flash in for Finnegan, but the bomb wasn't there. Only 3 players. If they even got the site, ESPADA would have been rotating before the bomb even came through T-spawn. So that would have been a very hard round regardless, and one where the time would not have favored them. Still winnable though, as Elian goes through a mid door and it takes down Sopvig. It's making ESPADA question the setup. They know B is empty, and that's a shot and a half for Elian. He is really making this A site rumble.
Yeah, just as I said, he had a pretty rough first half. He's really stepped it up now in this second, having so much impact with the AWP. 2 kills into it, and ESPADA are reeling after a great trade. Adema with a double spray on B. Looked like the round would just fall into place, but as it stands, it's very much on the table. Elliot drops down, sees Dexter, nullifies him, neutralizes him, and now Winstrike can get on the plant. They can get into a 1v2 post plant, and ESPADA, for all of their comeback, if they slip away here, it could just be all over. Their economy's not in great shape. They only have Dima remaining. He only has $650 before the end of this round. So, I mean, it's looking really grim now for ESPADA. What a round from Elian. And then Crizzle could be tying this up, and he does. Headshot delivered first class, 6 map points.
Yeah, that was excellent. That's a 2-on-4 for Winstrike. Like, should never be happening for sure. I mean, I thought the round was done as well when Dima gets those kills, but great work from Elian. Just a hero play running through the doors. We've been seeing like more and more players do that actually off of spawn, where they run tunnels ASAP and then just peek door to CT as soon as they can, the quickest timing possible. The CTs often aren't ready for it. That's not quite what he did. It was late in the round, but to the same idea and to better effect. ESPADA, they're back on long with only 1 player, but Winstrike is still getting denied this position. No matter what they do, no matter how much they try, they just can't get long. And maybe it's best to let sleeping dogs lie, get away from that spot. Flash into middle. Elian wants to fight Catwalk with the AWP. That's exactly where ESPADA are regressing. 2 up on the cat side. But as you can see, the money isn't great anyway this last, or potentially last round. Relies on just 1 M4.
1 M4, no kits, lack of grenades. Gonna probably come down to a timing peak, and Sopvik may have found that timing. Shadow around the corner betraying. Ooh. And Sopvik with 1 onto Hobbit. ESPADA keeping this alive again, and they're not able to go down there and retrieve any of those guns and upgrade. But getting the player advantage is huge. It could funnel Winstrike into a disadvantageous crossfire later on in the round, and they are going to be looking to push up Catwalk, pardon me. Bondic
tries to be thrifty to throw the AK away. Instead, he drops it into middle. Does get rid of the AWP. Definitely want to get rid of that FAMAS. Not a good gun. He just can't. He's cursed. It's just stuck to him. And now Winstrike, they're going to commit into the advantaged ESPADA, at least by the numbers. Patsy going in wide. He's going to get 2, or at least damage to the second. Lackey somehow living through that spray, and he'll get a kill. Dima is fast up cat. They're not ready for it. Bomb dropped. Now they know, but they've got to kill the CT player first. Lackey on for the clutch, on for the map, on for 3. Dima won't give it to him. 9 seconds, and Dima goes back for more. Great work from Dima. Really just choosing his peaks wisely, not overfacing, but also not allowing that bomb plant to go down when he could have stopped it. 15-10, ESPADA, they live to fight another day.
They most certainly do, and it could be a couple more days put behind that, because Winstrike's economy is shocking. I didn't know if they had a read of the situation and we're going to go in for some kind of a force buy, because it's not as though ESPADA were brimming to the fullest when it comes to their finances. Their accountant's certainly not happy with how things have ran, but Winstrike don't go in. P250, Deagle, and a flash. So ESPADA, they've hit that double digits mark. They're going to likely close the gap somewhat here. This map's not done just yet.
Not by any means of the word. Ooh, out middle they go. Lucky, that's a shot. Now, let's also not count Winstrike out of winning a deco round, Vince, because both sides of the coin are available. It is a flip at the end of the day. And, well, who will be coming out ahead? Could be Winstrike. ESPADA are pushing into a P250. This is a dangerous gun. Krisen sleeping at the wheel. Will get away with his life, but maybe I am speaking too soon. The re-smoke down, and Sopvik falls out. Safe play. He made the smart decision last round to run back through the Molotov, taking 50 damage, but securing the fact that he stayed alive in the 4-on-3. If he didn't run through that molly, he would have gotten re-peaked by Xbox. So very important play. Nice push from Dexter, catching the bomb on Catwalk. There's no support. There's no teammates. And now Winstrike, whatever the game plan was, has now turned into getting the bomb back. We need that package or we want to do anything. And so up catwalk, they go with the 2 players. Patsy is waiting.
And that flash isn't good enough, and it's a double stack as well. They just walk into their demise. Ultimately, Lackey and Crizin have already struck with Lackey's Deagle. Maybe if he can get a couple more shots down, it could be an interesting end and conclusion to this round. But his teammate's gone out, and he's got 8 seconds to play with. So it's going to have to be some deags. There's the first one. Maybe this isn't done just yet. Lackey going to be pushing towards the site. There's only 1 second to go. He gets the kill just in time. What?
I have no words, Vince. I'm lost.